This is a way to take and visualize perspective. Is that you take a table or something so where you're just seeing the end of something, or it could be a box, but where you're not seeing the tops or sides. Slowly raise your eye. What will happen is the back ends of the box will start to rise. Okay, then you can actually look to see how much shorter the back end of the box is than the front of the box. That's called foreshortening.
So
okay. The more you take and raise your head, the more that the ends of that box are going to rise up. Now, if you carry those lines back to a point, that's going to be actually the same level that your eyes are on. And that's your horizon line.
Oh, okay. Your eyes are on the horizon.
Okay. So now, but if we have a box where we're taking and say we're seeing some of the side of the box, like this. I'm drawing this all as a straight line for right now. But in reality, it wouldn't be. Okay? So if you do the same thing, if you raise up, what you find that these lines now are going to start to go up like this. And we're going to take, and this is going to drop down, or this could go back. So then you're going to start to see, and you would actually start seeing something here. Now this becomes two-point perspective then. These are going off to a point, these are going off to a point, and they're on that horizon line. Okay. Now why I sat down to do this was that you were having the lines coming together in front instead of the reverse. These things get smaller. This is your closest thing to you. Its mates back here have to be smaller. And they are parallel to a degree in that they are going to the vanishing points that are out here. And this would be very far off in the distance, I think. But so all you have to do is when you're drawing your box, is try to avoid doing in a sense, what you did. Yeah. You don't want the front of your box to be smaller than the back of your box.
Front of the box be smaller.
Okay.
You know, when you're sitting and then the box is on the table, the front is smaller than the top.
No, it isn't.
It isn't? Even if you're looking down at it?
You're sitting down looking at something down here.
Right.
The back top of the box, it has to be always smaller than.
Bigger.
There's no way that can be bigger than that.
Oh, right. Right. So the top is bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, the front,
Right.
the front edge. The closest thing to you will always be larger than the thing.
If we're looking down at this box, though, this might, if it was really come.
Well, these would go in the
Okay.
way that I'm drawing these. The way I'm drawing
You're
this.
drawing them
Is-
straight, but they would go.
Yeah,
or
these.
potentially they could
Yeah,
go.
that you can end up having
Okay.
three-point perspective. This becomes a big building somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but practice.
Practice.
I'm just take a look.
Everything goes up. It's going to get.
Experiment.
Okay.
Take even photographs and trace off the lines on the photograph. It'll show you exactly where the camera was.
Ah.
And as long as it's not a commercial photograph of a building, what they do is they then correct for the perspective.
Wow.
In the Renaissance, they did not use 3-point perspective,
2 point.
2-point. Even when they looked photographic at the paintings,
Yeah.
the verticals always stayed vertical. Okay. But that, there you go.
Oh,
The box helps, but you have to take even before that. You've got to sense this whole thing, and it's not necessarily, it's not a contour thing. You have to. If I take this, let's just take some very simple volume here. Okay. Okay, nothing happening. Okay, well, but now if I come in, and this is where you have the actual lines you put down. You have to really feel this within the thing. So if I take this and say, if I start coming through, without changing the contour, I'm coming in now. We're already starting to get the twist. Just that little bit. So as you're coming through now, the more exaggerated the twist becomes, the more you start to bring the forms in, and the more we start to go over the surface. But you have to be focused on which way the twist is, what's going on with it, and that's where a lot of you get the outside contour here, but you're missing the actual what it is. It's the twist. So if I wanted to, like some of the poses he's taken now, I can take and completely transform what's going on without changing the contour. In other words, if I can say, well, if this is the front, all I have to do is indicate that this is the front. And then I would pull back and we can say, well, this is the back. And this is like some of the poses that he's been taking. Just really that transforms it with just those simple lines now. So you're thinking you have to be really conscious of all these things. Then if to make it even really feel like he's really tilting, then we start to dig in with some of the forms. We start to feel this is pushing down, and maybe I start to think of this, then see the idea of the box then starts to come through, and I can take and play the other side. I start to emphasize things coming through and pulling, and then we start to focus on the fact that we have a top up here. But it starts with these simple lines to begin with, and that you've got to take and really be conscious of. And at the same time as you're doing that, to be able to see this, you've got to check, you're constantly looking at those verticals. And you look at the horizontals to see where things are. In other words, it's exactly what the grid. You're using the grid, but the grid is just everything is a tool. The grid, the idea of the grid is a tool that helps you to see. And you use it. And so everything is, then these are all just tool. The analysis, the box is an analytical tool that helps you to take and construct it and to see it and to do it. But it's like a lot of you, it really helps to do, if you need to get up, take the pose yourself. Feel what's going on. That's what you do. No. I mean, I actually, as a student, I did a lot of fashion drawing. And that was part of the thing. The instructor was always hollering at you. Feel the action, get up, take the pose. And that's what you need to do sometimes. You got to get past there's a certain, there should not be separation between you and the model. So it's like drawing from imagination. There's no separation. So when I'm drawing, my pencil's not on the paper, it's on him. I'm feeling how this stuff goes. Okay, just try it again. If you use the top of your board as a horizontal, you're looking at the model, you're going to find that your angles where you could your drawing is different. It's got to go in. That. So when you look at it, what's going? It's going that way. In other words, this is where you're drawing. This is horizontal. It's not horizontal. It's going this way. Turn. It's going that way. So that's right away, and that would create a real problem in the drawing to start with. Okay, and then let's just take them being hard-nosed now. Okay, so you're looking at this. Okay, it's high. You're drawing the center. Or is that the box? Okay,
That's the box.
Okay. And then it's off because his head is tilted down. His ears are higher than his brow.
Oh, okay. I was going based off of whether I could see the top of his head or not.
Yeah, but the top of the head, you're seeing the top of the head. See, if I was drawing the box, it's this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this is where you have to take and really be careful now. So you're coming through, hitting the shoulders, the rib cage is coming out. You want to feel the flow really coming across. So there's a real pinching taking place in here, really pushing out. Now here's where you're running into an anatomical thing here. So you're taking and looking at, let's just break this down to simple volume again. If you got this basic volume going through. Okay, now the pelvis is going this way. And what happened is that this stuff is fitting into that. So you've got to see this, and then the leg is not going to come in until here. You've cut out the waist. The whole shape here, so you're running up with this. And the actual thing is what's happening is the hip is coming out. So we're taking, as that comes out, then the leg is coming out and going off into here. Then this we're taking and going through into here, and you're taking it, literally draw a ground plane. So you can take and see where you're at in space. So the action is going through. And this is where you're running into trouble. So this is, we start to go back farther. This would be going, okay, it's going back in, then the shoulders are down, coming up. Okay. Go through. You've got to feel the dynamics of what these parts are taking and doing. It's very easy to get lost in the details, and that's what you got to be careful about. What's the feeling? What's the feeling that you get? In other words, if I take and draw this is a really simple type of thing, and sort of what way is it going? See, this is almost, you almost get the feeling that this is what's happening. And you're looking at it. I'm just trying to very simplify how this, what's the sense that we get of this. Mm-hmm. You look at this. That's sort of what's going on. See? Don't see it.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, you have to sort of blink. Well, what's going on? You got to look. You say, okay, what the hell's happening here? Is it going that way? Is it going down? Yeah. See, also, you notice that he relaxes his knees so that he doesn't get stiff. You got to feel which isn't bad, but I'm losing this sort of twist thing that we're seeing there. Say, this is kind of going through, it's going down. That's fine, okay, but up here now, that just doesn't feel right, okay, and that's what you try to do, is try to sort of take it, come through and try to say, okay, now what's going on? We got this coming. How does it work? How does the head go? Getting strong. That's pretty good. Get a little tight in here, but yeah. You gotta be clearer with the.
Yeah, it
the
felt
head.
like he was looking
Yeah,
right at
which
you.
way? Actually, even which way it's turned.
Mm-hmm.
It's going underneath. Going back that way. It may have shifted this way, but it's never gone from that to that.
Well, I think he was more or less straight.
What?
Yeah,
That
okay.
wount have changed.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause you're not seeing the
Just looking
top
at it.
of the shoulder. You're looking, if anything, you're looking underneath. It would never be up where you can see it. 'Cause that, if we contrast, okay, we're just drawing boxes here.
Right.
We look at this, and then we take and we do. This is coming forward. That's going back.
No, I see that. I just thought it was coming forward.
Oh, no.
After it, so
Okay. Now,
I just misinterpreted.
yeah. Well, that's why I'm here.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm here. If I knew how to do it, I wouldn't be here.
But that's what makes the idea of doing these boxes such an important thing, because you have to make these decisions. You have to look. It makes you look more carefully.
Right. So which way are the hips going now?
That's
That's more or less.
yeah.
Okay.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's the idea. In other words, you got this going through. In other words, if I take the hip, it's going through, and here. You're seeing the top of it, but you would find that one side, the two sides are parallel.
Right, yeah.
Oh, but that's not bad. Pretty good. And what you're doing here, you're getting too narrow with this stuff here.
Okay.
Chances are that it's not quite so much this way as it's more this way.
Okay.
So where we take, we think, okay, if we start coming through, then we would start to be more of the top going through this way. And the other one, see here now, this would be the opposite. See, this is coming forward, obviously, but this is coming more. This is going down,
Right.
and so that we're getting this going across.
So just
And
keep
it's,
it this way.
yeah, and it'll be going back.
Just the tiniest bit.
But when you're going through it, to help you see where things are, check your verticals, check your horizontals, to see, so to give yourself a sense of what the angles of things are. In the beginning, really, of the drawing, to keep it loose, keep it free. You're working for the feeling of it, rather than trying to copy lines and stuff like that. You don't start with the box. Go for the whole. Get the feeling for the total. Approach it as if you were drawing from imagination. You've got to take and open up a little bit. When you look at what's going on, okay, he's leaning out this way. Now, I'm going to focus on the pelvic area here for a bit. What you do is you ask yourself you're asking yourself questions. Talk to yourself, literally. So as we're going through, we can see, well, this hip and drawing the hip. The other side is high. So if I'm thinking of this as a box, we have a corner here. This is going back up that way. Okay. Now, in doing that, this leg is coming off, going off out into here and going down. We can see, and we're actually looking at the buttocks there, we can see that the pressure, as you're coming through here, this is compressing, this is pushing up, so that the buttocks here is taking and going in. There's pressure from that leg pushing. This side is dropped. This is more relaxed, taking, pulling down. So, and even here I would exaggerate that to get the contrast right away. Okay, now the other part, when I'm looking at what sort of first, besides that, saying, okay, we've got this, the box, say, is here. This is going in. Okay. Now, but this leg now is actually coming out towards you. This is coming off and going out this way. So this is fitting into this. So when you actually look, we could see now, if I just doing a little bit more realistic here, we would see that this fits into this. And if we were doing this in clay, it would become real obvious. But you got that plane, and this is coming out. So now, as we come forward, as we're going through, coming down, the back of the knee, we've seen the tendons. Well, these become, in a sense, the corners of your box. So now this would be coming through, and just drawing the box, then we would take and be saying, well, okay, this is going up here, this is coming through and fitting into that. And we're coming across like this. Then this leg is still coming back towards us. So you need to start, you need to get in there and think 3D things. Don't draw so bloody dark. Use something that's so soft. That's what's causing you so much. Why are you getting so dark? Get sanguine, polychromal, okay. Or then here in this pose, then see when we're talking about these boxes, you can feel the pull across that corner of that box. You can feel the stretch, feel the pull, feel it coming across, and the whole rib cage stuff now. He's taking and it's going in a bit. Well, let's take doing this. I hate to say it, but backwards. Okay. But we would be feeling these volumes in here, feeling where the head is, in here. And this is now, you are seeing the front. And we're going to the side here. So then you have to come back in and start really visualize, okay, which way is that box going? But draw lighter, draw lighter, draw lighter, draw lighter. Also, draw larger, because you're having a hard, with the scale and with the softness of your pencil, that you're making, it's too messy to really get in.